All right, good to have you back. It's still good morning, Anambra, if you're just joining us. And, well, we will be talking about growing the Nigerian economy. Most people would ask questions, is Nigeria a growing, developed or underdeveloped country? Well, all of those questions we'll get to ask, and of course, answers will be provided for these questions today. Growing the Nigerian economy, we're talking about it. And we'll have a guest in the house, Mr. Bruno Ibekilo, a lecturer at the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University, Igbariam campus. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yes, we're talking about growing the Nigerian economy. I said something earlier. Is Nigeria a developed or an underdeveloped country? Let's get to know first from that.
First of all, we have to remove that underdeveloped concept. That was a colonial terminology, which they to keep us where they want to keep us, and then treat us the way they want to treat us as underdeveloped. Presently, everybody is growing. So what we have is a developing economy and developed economy, or you can say industrialized economy. Okay. So because we are all on that voyage of development, so what we do is that every time we keep on growing. And presently there are some countries that are now seen as emerging economies or transition economies. Those countries that have now started moving away from being poor ab initio, and have made giant strides in coming out of their old levels of growth. Some of these countries we see in Asia and some Western European countries, which Nigeria and some other countries in Africa are fast becoming part of them. So we can assume that we are growing.
Okay, we are really growing, but with the gross domestic product, like that GDP, fluctuating, like in 2006 we have a 1.6%, 2008 0.8%, 2009 1. And then in 2019 it's 2.2%. Will you actually say that the economy is really growing as we expected it to be?
What you have just given out is normal with every economy. Okay. There is economic boom, there is slump, it gets down to recession, and we start to recover again, and then we boom again. So it is normal with every economy, but the problem is, how do you manage the accompanying shocks that come with these fluctuations in the economy? Our own got so bad that we had to enter into recession. So when you're seeing 0 points, even we had minus 1 point something at the deep neck of the recession. So what we are doing is to find a way to come out of it gradually. And I think Nigeria is about one of the few economies that have come out of great recession within 1 year. Most countries will be stuck into it for years. Look at what is presently happening in Argentina. People are running away from Argentina just because of inflation.
Okay,
so, but in Nigeria here, we have that resilience where even in the course of hardship, people tend to find ways of coming out of it, or even breaking out new businesses in that hardship. Today, people are processing.
That will really look into more when we come back from this short break. We'll be right back after now.
TV is where we get to the roots of disturbing matters affecting people and the society.
Beyond the blaming the lawyers, I think the process of recruiting the security agencies should be looked into.
TV is where we talk about everything that has to do with creativity.
Melody actually enhances when it comes of music too.
And yes, TV is unique. TV is bringing back the nostalgic moments of the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, even way back the 40s.
Let me use the word nostalgic because today I want to really make the memory bells in your head thicken.
Nkukota ka egbeji enwe ọkụ na TV. Ya bụ n'oge okwu akpụ n'ọnụ ka anyị na-eweta okwu dọrie ya dọwa ya agba.
Ibe na-ese okwu n'obodo ịchọba onye eziokwu ya achọ onye ọzọ. Ọzọ dị mkpa rinne.
TV is where ladies come to chat, to talk about their problems and issues concerning real ladies, and possibly also prefer solutions to this problem.
We got thinking, okay, maybe the divorce rate is on the increase because of pressure, you know.
TV is for the kids, and the kid
in every one of us.
Thank you, my love, for your sustenance. My Lord, dear present, the past, every other protocol.
TV is gossip. TV is entertainment. TV is where we bring the top banging songs in the country.
Yes. Celebrity, fashion, lifestyle, we bring it right here on Entertainment Hub.
TV is information. TV is where we bring people together to talk about issues that affect us as individuals. TV is ABS.
TV is ABS. TV is ABS.
TV bụ ABS.
TV is ABS.
TV is ABS.
TV is ABS.
TV is ABS, channel 24 and channel 113.
Well, good to have you back. It's still Good Morning Anambra, where we're talking about growing the Nigerian economy, and Mr. Bruno Ibekilo is here in the studios. Just before we went on the break, you were talking about what's happening in Argentina, the inflation and stuff. But let's come back home. Now, a lot of announcements has been made regarding Nigerian economy as one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. Now, if it's one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, my question is, what exactly is growing the Nigerian economy? And what role does government play in the said economic growth, especially given the high rate, of course, as 80% total amount of the budget spending that still goes to recurrent expenditure? What exactly is growing the Nigerian economy? A lot of talks have been said.
That is most of the times you see it is conflicting. You have an economy that is supposedly claimed to be growing at 2.4% and the population that is growing about 2.6%. So what does that mean? You have a progressive per capita growth. Your population is growing more than the output. So how can that economy be the fastest growing in Africa? So it is a contentious issue. But so far we have recorded a tremendous growth away from recession, which is marvelous. Look at the economic and recovery program of the present administration. It is expected to move between 2017 to
2020.
Yeah. The interest is about trying to invest in the people, youth empowerment, job creation, and then development of agriculture, then pursuing growth, general macroeconomic growth. But if you look at these standards that have been set for what you may call goals, and if you want to assess the present government on the template of this goal set, you may find out that one of the major things that seem to be driving this growth is that the sort of fit agriculture and investing in people. Because investing in people, they are creating jobs. Government is no longer trying to create jobs by themselves, but they're trying to find a way to create the level environment. And again, like I said earlier, Nigerians are this resilient set of people.
Okay, well, I think we have to pursue here. Let's go for a short break. Let's go out to the streets and hear what the people have to say about the topic of discussion. We'll be right back.
Factors that grow economy of every nation, not Nigeria in particular, every nation, the economic standard all over the world. First, industrialization. Industrialization brings productivity. Productivity creates employment. And then if there's employment, not that it will be zero employment, but at least you have unemployment reasonably low. As it stands here now in Nigeria, unemployment is very high. And when you don't have job, their talent, their potential is not achieved. As such, the economy cannot grow. Economic growth doesn't mean erecting structure, physical block here and there. It's human potential that you tap. And you tap the human potentials, which by nature we all have inside us. Then it grows the economy. Productivity will be there.
We need to diversify. We need to leave the oil sector and diversify into our natural resources, which is actually agriculture. We should be exporting. We have cocoa, we have granules, we are well endowed as a nation, and I think we really need to move out from oil-based economy to agricultural-based economy, and in light of that, we'll see our economy growing. We're import dependent at the moment, and we need to shift into export dependent, which we can increase our earning as a country.
Basically, what will help to boost our economy largely depend on government, especially on power. If government can give us a steady supply of power, that is number one thing that will help to make our economy to be better, because apolitical supply of power is affecting the whole sectors badly. That one is number one. Number two is government can do something to help the economy to be better by empowering youths, create a job employment for them.
To empower the youth and make sure that there is no jobless one in the country. We know that there are programs they had on farming. Also know that there are programs they have on for artisans and so on and so forth. If they could be able to follow it up and empower people, actually the Nigerian economy will grow fast.
You're welcome back. Glad to have you back on the program. Good morning, Anambra. And we've been talking on how to grow the Nigerian economy. And yes, you've seen what the people had to say about how well we can help to grow the Nigerian economy. So what's your thoughts on what they just said?
Majority of them are still emphasizing the role of government in growing Nigerian economy. In my view, yes, the government has a very great role to play. But essentially, my view is that government have to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. That's what the government has done considerably fairly well by trying to expand the infrastructural base, then trying to develop a globally competitive economy by increasing the standards on ease of doing business.
Yeah.
In the last assessment, we've gone about 7 points up. So what does that tell you? Given the weaknesses or perceived weaknesses we are seeing around the government's established infrastructural whatever, and then the backbone they are presenting. But you find out that, like I said earlier, the resilient nature of Nigerians and our youths tend to push growth. You and I know that before now, number of guys you see that are tellers today have increased. Tailoring outfits are increasing everywhere. You move around and you see even young girls producing handbags, producing shoes. Before it used to be, we must travel to Aba. So what we have to do is to encourage investments. People who have this big money should bring it down. There should be a way of incubating businesses. Today, what is happening in the oil sector is now happening in the leather industry. Today, we export raw leather, they process leather, and bring it back to us as a processed leather to make shoes in Aba here. That is what is happening in the oil industry. We export oil, they refine oil, and bring back finished product. So what are we going to do? We have to attract investors in these areas. Most of these things we are wearing today are foreign. So we export cotton, go to abroad, buy fabrics to come and sew in Nigeria. So we found out that intermediate products, semi-finished goods are not properly managed in Nigeria. Government need to develop that industry. Why are we exporting cotton and importing fabrics? Why are we exporting leather and importing tan leather? Why are we exporting oil and importing petroleum products? Okay, why are we exporting even all this wood and importing wood products? Look at what these plywoods you're seeing everywhere today. They're imported, but we export the raw material here. So one of the fastest ways to grow this economy, in my view, which is most realistic today, we have to develop that semi-product, that semi-finished product, these products that serve as raw material to most of these industries. And that is where we have to come in to do what? Synergize. That connect must be there between the agricultural sector and industrial sector. Once we do that, and then between the extractive industry and the processing industry, once we do this, these connections will close the gap and we economy will.
But the question again is, do we have the manpower to do that, as in to produce all these things?
Yes, we have the manpower to, first of all, attract investment in these areas. Why are people building mansions everywhere? It will cost you about 50 million naira to build maybe a 4th floor, and you'll be taking 350,000 naira per year from one flat. It's not a good investment, in my own assessment. So why don't you use that whole money and then create a niche for yourself by entering into all these areas we've talked about? We have only 2 places where they tan leather in Nigeria, and only 2 markets. If you don't buy in Lagos, you buy in Aba. And we have people producing shoes all over the places. Our refineries are not working, so we export raw material, import finished product. So these intermediations, once we are able to close these gaps, most countries, we are deserts yesterday. Today we go to holidays in this country.
That brings me to my next question, because one of the papers this morning, the new GMD of NNPC says in 2022, 4 refineries will be working. My question is, how sincere is the fight as regards to growing the Nigerian economy?
The sincerity of purpose is what we are blaming the politicians. Look at that economic recovery and growth plan that is expected to exhaust itself by 2020. 2020 is 6 months away. We are growing at 2.4%, federal government statistics. Yes. And by the recovery plan, we are to grow by 7%.
Yes.
We are expected to have created jobs. Today, Nigerians are paying their way into slavery. Youth. That is, you have to pay to go and become a slave in another man's country because you want to go to Europe through Libya. University graduates, we need to recycle our youth. These young men you see doing something for themselves in this area, it may not be like this in some other areas. The mentality is making it big. You hear of Yahoo, G boys driving Benz up and down. That is not the mindset with which some developed countries took off from. If you go to most of these developed countries, you see that it is the small and medium scale enterprises, and that is where I'm going to. This intermediation must be there. If we make investments in all these MBF plywoods you're seeing everywhere, why can't we be doing it in Nigeria? These young men that can now create, there are this new modern design of furniture making now. The mentality is changing, and it is these young guys who have this ingenuity, who have this productive capacity, that are thinking out these things. But they are not seeing the raw materials because they have to be imported, and once they are imported, the prices go up. So certain things that ought to be at our reach are now seen as being luxurious.
Yeah, I'm sure the government knows about all these things you are just explaining now. But why is it difficult for them to implement this plan?
The difficulty is what is obvious to us: political will, insincerity. Because somebody is supposed to take this concept from the table down to the field and ensure that money is allocated for certain purposes, are tailored down, and then monitor to see that what is meant to be is taken care of. Today, the government is bringing out a whole lot of money for agriculture. Some people will go to these banks through which this agricultural scheme is being supplied, take the money and go and do another thing. They may set aside money for cooperatives. Somebody will go and take the loan as a cooperative agency and go and use it to start another business.
Is it that there's nobody checkmating this thing?
People don't checkmate, and those people who will go to check, they will give them a part of it.
Now that brings it to that. What are those problems really in Nigeria that are threatening our economy?
The first thing that is threatening our economy is insincerity, number 1. 2, lack of political will by our political leaders. Because you cannot tell me, why should I'm a president of Nigeria? We're talking about industrialization of Nigeria, and I'm driving imported car. Why Nigerians are assembling cars? Suzuki Maruti was meant for Indians. At the time, Indians, when they were less than 1 billion, they started this thing about buy India and think India. So today, with a market of about 200 and something million people, and if we decide that our governments will run on Nigerian assembled cars, that all government parastatals, our paramilitary, our military, will be kitted by Aba market. So you see that indirect jobs alone that will be created around there. Suppliers, you now start to see where people start to outsource. Mercedes was outsourcing up to Spain and Argentina. Mercedes will outsource seat production to Argentina. So why can't we have these car assembly plants outsourcing even their seed production to Oka. And once you do that, you now start to see cluster of industries. So who is going to tell me that there is no employment? These countries you are calling developed countries, when they were on their path of growth, Nigerians were going there to study, and you hear of Nigerians who were studying and working.
This is you know, it's really disturbing if you ask
Look
me.
at the plants we have in Oka here today. Some students in the university here are working in them. Shift. Some of my students are working in these small factories you are seeing here. Who is encouraging them? This money is meant for them. Why can't we give it to them? Look at what the federal government brought out, one agricultural financing something. Lagos State was giving it to Lagosians at 7%, but government have a package of 9%. So we really have to be more sincere to these things and ensure that in the course of going down to where they are going to work, that somebody is following it.
Now let's come back to sincerity. For the very first time in Nigeria history, we'll successfully say that we privatized the power sector. Now, power is something very important in a society, and we know that. But do you think the solution to Nigeria's power woes was privatizing that sector? For instance, South Africa, generates a very, huge megawatt, but it's still in the public hands. More of their power, activities is still in the public hands. So, do you think Nigeria rushing to privatize the power sector was the solution, or is the solution to power rules?
Ordinarily, like I said earlier, if there is sincerity in the privatization, it may be the solution. Because we have two scenarios here. We have government failure and market failure. In 1988, when we started a technical committee on privatization and commercialization, we wanted to move away from the market. We wanted to move into the market, moving away from government. So we now deregulated the economy, post-SAC. Now we now moved into the market. The same insincerity. Banks that were meant to finance the industrial sector through, if we have it, sincere trading in foreign exchange. Today you see banks go to federal government, get foreign exchange the other side, come across the other fence and sell at inflated prices, and not to those people who will manufacture, not to those people who will do agriculture. Now, in power sector, what we had was a situation whereby government brought out some people, faceless individuals, sold our collective property to them, and they in turn started exploiting us. Okay, assuming that meter is a product in the market, and if you want it, you go and buy it over the shelf. Why are you telling me that we couldn't have been metered all this while? But somebody is telling us that it is a very big challenge for him to meter us. So, ab initio, there were maybe I say government's hands in the privatization. Somebody has not been penalized for doing what is wrong. And that is why the whole privatization scheme seems to be failing. Now, the man in between them is a government agent. The Gencos are private. The Discos are private. That man transmitting it is an agency of the government. And today we hear breakages, downfalls in the transmission system, which is still government. So, the one that is government is not doing very well. The one that is private is not equally doing well. It lies in the individual. It lies in the individual. Somebody said that walking is an exercise, but is the walking brisk enough to be an exercise? So are we sincere enough to see that one that is government is working? Those who are in the private sector, do we love this country enough and want to see it grow, so that we see that those private market oriented people are working?
When we talk about this sincerity, do you think we would ever get it right? Let's be very realistic.
That insincerity you're hearing of, that is what boils down to corruption. When you're not sincere, that is corruption. That is corruption for those in government. Then for those that are handling the government machinery, they say it is lack of political will. So if I'm a member of a political party, and that political party is in power, and somebody is trying to say that this man has done something wrong, and we are supposed to prosecute and do certain things, blah, 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 blah. Tomorrow you will hear that some persons are being prosecuted while others are left behind. Okay? Somebody was to get an appointment, his case file left EFCC, and entered Ministry of Justice. And from that Ministry of Justice, the case started dwindling down. If that person had been prosecuted and there's certain things done to him, it may deter. So even the punishment given to political those who are politically corrupt, is it deterrent enough? Because if you go there and do the old plea bargaining, it may be an incentive.
The thing is,
I will steal, they will catch me, I will go there, give them a percentage, and keep the other.
When you really talk about the punishment even given to the political, gladiators, my question is there even a punishment to start with? Because it looks as if what they do at the end, okay, let's take, for instance, the issue of Olisametu, it looks as if one of the things the government in power will do to probably another party is more of witch hunting and not even probably prosecuting. Atiku came out the other day to say he doesn't have issues with Saraki being prosecuted, but he should not be haunted. I don't know, that was this word he actually used. So in the real sense, do they really prosecute or punish those who are really corrupt?
We don't really, and that is what I keep on saying. That insincerity. If the objective is getting to that point, the goal is walking 2 steps per minute, and now you're walking 2 steps per minute, but you're not walking in the right direction. Somebody will say you're not walking in the right direction. They say shut up. Somebody will say you are walking in the right direction. So at the end of the day, the two positions will show you that Avenue you are not walking in the right direction. So what I think we have to start doing in this country is let us be that sincere. This is what we want to achieve. This is how we are going to achieve it. All hand on deck. Anybody who is not moving the way we are moving, we set him aside. But what we're having today is a situation whereby our economy, we all know what will grow our economy. And that thing we call insincerity that is being presented as corruption and lack of political will is still what is deterring us. So we really have to come back and then pursue these goals religiously.
All right. The goals religiously. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bruno Ibekilo, lecturer at Chukwemeka Odumewu Ojukwu University, Ibariam campus. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for watching today's edition of Good Morning Anambra. It's been a good one. We talked about growing the Nigerian economy. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Many thanks for joining us. Join us again tomorrow for another edition.